Welcome to Studies in Theatre MOOC program. Today in this lecture, we are going to discuss set design in theatre. So what is a set design? You know that set has been evolving for a long time in theatre. The scenery, the backdrop, all that is present when you watch a play, the make-believe that gets created for you in order to understand the location, the mood of the play, of the drama, is with the help of stage and the set. So it involves the creation and arrangement of physical and visual elements on stage to depict the setting and atmosphere of a theatrical production. It encompasses the design of scenery, properties, lighting, and sometimes sound, collaborating with directors and other production members to enhance storytelling and immerse audience in the world of performances. This is interior of Kabuki theatre, colored woodcut. Kabuki is a theatre of Japan, a theatre tradition of Japan. Look at the detailed set design. It's the set design that is very important for a lot of traditional performance cultures. How is the set designed? How people are sitting on stage? What section of stage is to be used? All things. And it has been one of the most important architectural evolution ever since the classical times of Greek and Sanskrit theatre traditions. They have changed a lot. Look at the importance of set design. Look, that's the design that is visible here. It's the Teatro Olimpico. The scenery that you see in the center is just a scenery. But what it does is it provides a depth to the theatre, a three-dimensional depth to the theatre. It's crucial in theatre because it establishes a context, mood of production. It provides visual cues about time, place, and atmosphere that aids in storytelling and character development. The effective set designing enhances the audience engagement. It transports them to different worlds and enriches their overall theatrical experience. So, try to think it that way, that when you go to watch a play, what you expect in front of your eyes is that when the curtain will be taken off, you will find a certain arrangement on stage. That arrangement is the key. After sitting in that auditorium, after getting seated, after finding a place to sit to watch a performance, it's the image of the set that transforms you into an audience. Of course, it is your commitment towards watching the performance that initiates this transformation. But it's the physical world, in the physical world, because theater is an experience of physical world. All that is spiritual, psychological, philosophical, and intellectual comes later on. It's what you see on stage that transforms you into an audience. It prepares you to start believing all that is going to take place on the stage as real. Even though you know that it is not real, but you decide to believe it, you commit to believe it because the set is there. It is set for storytelling. It is set for performance, and it is now set to be believed. That is the role of set. So the theatre in itself is generated, the idea of theatre and performance is generated because of theatre, set. The history of set design dates back to ancient Greece. The scenic design elements included backdrops, painted canvas, masks, and costumes. So having in the backdrop a painted canvas, a big cloth with some colors, with some sceneries or some canvas, then putting some masks around around the stage, or putting masks on the face of the actors, the costumes that people are wearing, this all is part of set design. As audiences grew larger, production value expanded, scenic design became increasingly complex and popular. So, with more and more innovations being done in the theatre, when people were participating more and more researches were done in terms of how it can be made into a better viewing experience. You see, it's important for you to understand that theatre has developed not because it has to be taught in classrooms, not because a researcher is guiding people. It has developed and has innovated for the simple reason, and that simple reason is that it has to be made a comfortable viewing experience for the audience. It should be more and more entertaining for the audience. Entertainment comes from believing in something which is taking place in front of my eyes, despite knowing that it is not real. And that believing needs to be facilitated with more and more components. So set designing helps you in that believing. So fascinating visual effects to transport the audience have always inspired the set designers. Let us do something fascinating to make it more real, more entertaining for the audience. And then it's up to the researchers to keep writing about it, how this technique was done. And for that, it is not just the artistic mind that sits to design the set. It's the innovation to for how you will show rain on stage, how you will show the fire on stage, how you will show the wind on stage, how you will show the animals on stage, how you will show the buildings on stage. It is interesting. It gives a kick to the architectural insights of the human mind. And people of very different disciplines come together. It's the carpenters, painters, drapists, visual artists, electricians, engineers, all have come together. Masons, painters, fresco painters, all have time to time collaborated to create this. So it continued developing throughout the Renaissance. Sebastiano Serlio introduced three-dimensional scenery in the 16th century, as I have given this example for you, this picture. The 17th century Italian Renaissance period brought set design to life. Then other things that were introduced to sets were these things, like introduction of perspective paintings to give a depth in scenery. So if you have a perspective, look at this perspective paintings. If there is a perspective, if you are not showing the door like this, but if you show the door like this, there is a little perspective. This middle space gets, it gives a perspective. So when the painting is drawn like this and it is hung in the backdrop, then that creates a perspective of space, of 3 dimension. Italian set designer Giacomo Torelli emerged in the 18th century and created mechanisms for changing large scenery quickly. So the large sceneries which were put in the backdrop, they were changed very fast. Then Swiss designer Adolphe Appia made significant contributions in the 20th century, including light design to complement and highlight the set pieces. He also brought a realism and creativity to the theatre world. Limited properties to enhance visual effects without distracting audience was also a growth of making the set more believable. Very heavily decorated sets are not advisable for a good performance because it distracts the audience. They probably would like to see some colors which are there the in the sofa or in the kitchen or in some paintings on the stage. They may get distracted. So instead of doing that, the minimalism becomes very helpful. An important thing was box sets, which were placed like box, three walled, the realistically decorated set pieces, and then they were taken for away in the box form. They were shifted and they were taken off. This implied the fourth wall facing the audience, providing a sneak peek into the realistic home designs and other areas of the production's settings. When learning about set design, one of the most important things to look at are the kind of design examples. Set designers often sketch their designs or use other tactile creations to draft their designs and creations such as sketches, dioramas, collages, and design boards and various tactile elements like texture fabrics. The pictures that are depicted here that are showing you the different kinds of perspective impacts that the set can create depicts a beautiful three-dimensional set design model that establishes color scheme and tone of the play before the actual set has been constructed. In these two pictures, you can see how the perspective is adding more depth to the entire scene. It depicts a beautiful three-dimensional set design model and establishes color scheme and tone for the mood of the play Othello. So this is how we can depend on set designing. Now the role of a set designer are crucial in translating the script into physical environments. They collaborate with directors to understand the vision and mood of the production. They are responsible for creating sketches and models and plans for sets. They select and source materials for construction. You getting my point? So the set designers are important people because they translate the script into a physical entity. They provide a physical environment around the words that are written on the pages. And then they have to collaborate with various kinds of people in the play. They have to collaborate with the director of the play. They have to collaborate with the costume designers. They have to collaborate with light designers. They make designs, first of all, make sketches on the paper. Those sketches are then translated into the physical things on stage. And then they also select and source materials for construction, oversee the implementation of set designs during rehearsal and performances. Material that is used for set designing is these days recommended to be sustainable materials. It's better not to depend on materials like synthetic cloth or thermocol or plastics because that creates a lot of trash and this is environmental hazard also. If all the plays in every production these kinds of properties are created and dumped, then this leads to a lot of trash being generated. So one has to choose material which can be recycled, wood and lighter kind of wood which is easy to be taken around for transporting, for also creating things. Then cotton cloths, cotton cloth for different kinds of setting up in the set. So choose wisely. This is a suggestion that if you are creating, then the material has to be kept in mind. In today's world, set is also incorporating very much technological things, materials which are also easily available. Then digital projections and interactive elements are also prioritized in modern day productions because this is leading to people's understanding of the environment in a very common sense, in a very specific sense. As I said, sustainable and eco-friendly practices are increasingly prioritized. For example, if you want to create a particular kind of a set which has an environment of a city's culture, so you will have to understand the whole aspect of that city. Digital projections and interactive elements enhance visual storytelling. This has been discussed a lot in various lectures, so I don't need to elaborate this. But digital projections and interactive elements are part of set designing. This is something that you must keep in mind, that you have to correlate it. That if the discussion of digital projection is taking place in storytelling, what does it mean there? And if digital projection is being discussed here, what does it mean here? It means that set designing includes not just some kind of carpenter's work, or set designing is not just some kind of property work, but set designing is a very complex process, especially in professional theatre, because so many departments have to be collaborated into. People have to work together. So if you are looking for a digital projection, then that is also part of set designing. You will have to have a discussion with your set designer. And what kind of elements of storytelling are to be selected, that will be done by the set designer. Then sustainable and eco-friendly practices are to be prioritized in the set designing. In set designing, as I said, we need to choose the material which is eco-friendly, material which is recyclable. In addition to this, the eco-friendliness also refers to organic assimilation of the things that are available in a particular region of that area. So somewhere it's eco-friendly to use wood, but somewhere it is not eco-friendly to use wood. Somewhere it is eco-friendly to use palm leaves, but somewhere it is not eco-friendly to use palm leaves. So eco-friendliness means there is no universal paradigm for eco-friendly material. The eco-friendliness has to be kept in mind in order to understand the various aspects of the regions that are available. Emphasis on versatility to accommodate diverse theatrical styles and audience expectations. So set designers have to collaborate with all people in order to accommodate diverse styles, audience expectations also, where the play has been taken, where the people are living, and what kind of audience is coming to watch it. All these things have to be kept in mind. Then increased use of computer generated imagery, CGI, and green screens in set design is a new age technology. All of us know about it. Even for recording this lecture, we are using CGI. There is a green screen behind me, but when you look at the lecture, there is no green screen. An emerging trend of LED allowing interactive backdrops for actors. So now you don't have to create backdrops with the help of cloth, with the help of painted walls or painted frames, but you can create LED walls. And that is just prepared, that designing arrangement is prepared in advance and you have it. Utilization of design software like AutoCAD and SketchUp for intricate projects. You have a lot of advanced projects available, the applications available like AutoCAD and SketchUp for intricate projects, for designing and everything. You can do that with the help of computers. So people who are looking to train themselves into set designing need to be ready to understand that it's computer and technology also that is going to be their mainstay in today's world. They will have to depend on it a lot. It saves time, it saves resources, and it also is eco-friendly because a lot of materials are not used in them to damage the properties, to have wood and clothes and then dump them everywhere. It is a complex engineering with motion and control via computer software. professional stage designing is a high-end professional work. It's very complex. It needs proper training. There are a lot of programs available, online courses available, short-term courses available that you can join to train yourself into set designing. If you have a flair for technology, if you have a flair for architecture, decoration, designing, interior, you can mix all these things and go for a profession where you can choose set designing as your area. And of course, it is the area of theatre studies. That is why you will remain a theatre person. You can engage with your love for theatre and carry it forward in all directions. So again, I will say that theatre is a place where so many professions can engage and people of so many tastes and so many different diverse intelligence inclinations can come together and flourish. Despite and generally because people think that it's acting only that theatre is required for. It's not that. So this is one picture that gives you the example of 2010 production of Brighton Breach Memoirs at the Old Globe Theatre. And this picture gives you how even the two stories have been shown in this on that. A lot of technology has been used. I will not divulge what technology. I leave this for your consumption, for your brainstorming. Watch it, look at it closely, and keep thinking about it. So the pictures that I have used are these. And thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed this short lecture on set designing. That's it. See you in a different lecture.